have to say that the Noble's Path has developed in the direction that I hoped it would. So when we started off, we started on the basis of what was kind of known. There's a Telegram group, there's some people, they share some ideas, they bounce ideas off of each other, they ask each other questions. But you were able, together with the feedback and the structure that was built, to create something that is actually much closer to a movement, let's call it that, a program that people can walk through, can guide each other through,
Yes.
with different speeds possible for different people. There's seasonality to it. There's common event happening. So these things have been very, very positive.
I mean, I like the term movement because although practically speaking, it's a group of men supporting each other to achieve their goals, to set and achieve their goals, to keep each other accountable, to share knowledge and wisdom and skills and resources, and building bonds so that the desire to achieve our own goals and is greater because we've got guys keeping an eye on us who we care about the opinion of, right? But the idea of a movement, I mean, as an extension of that, I think is very important, given the context we're in right now, where, my opinion, maybe you share this, leadership is failing. There's a lack of competence, perhaps greed, corruption, and I'm talking about particularly government, and obviously going on in large corporations as well. That would be my assessment of the situation. So a movement here, grassroots, although I don't like that term, but from the ground up, really, we have the mass of the population who have for decades been complacent, lazy, allowed themselves to be ignorant, not really put any effort in, and everything has declined. It's not that simple, but I think that's a key factor in the decline we're in, because most people, whether through their own lack of effort or the concerted effort of a ruling class to keep them placid, or a combination of both and other things, that's been the effect. Because we're looking at how society should be structured effectively, then people need to be teaching each other within communities, sharing knowledge and wisdom, right? We've become very disconnected and
isolated,
fragmented and isolated within communities, right? And people don't know who their neighbors are. It's a shame, real shame. So one of the huge aspects of this is yes, we talk about movement and brotherhood, but just being able to give and receive feedback within that, and you can call that coaching, is enormous, right? People don't do that. There's a lot of that. Everybody's very defensive, particularly men. They feel under threat, like they're going to be seen as weak if they don't know something or they haven't gained a certain skill, which is very foolish and self-defeating. So yeah, I bang on. Coaching is an enormous part of this, and the guys are learning coaching skills through just being in the room, but also being given an opportunity to gain those skills more formally. So the story I hear a lot from people who are looking for coaching is, tried counseling, but I was just sitting around talking about my feelings, and yeah, I just got fed up with that because nothing was getting done. So I want to come to a coach because we can set some targets and actually take some action, right?
For those that have been on a journey of self-improvement before, the Noble's Path actually offers the channeling of that energy into further self-improvements, but in areas that you might not have thought about before. Getting group impact, group feedback, and helping you not to burn yourself out with that energy that you bring in. It's interesting because it makes you, whenever you get a question on where you're going or why do you do these things or why is that important to you, you stop and you think, and it's like, okay, why is this actually important to me? Why do I think this is the right direction? And it makes you also reevaluate how much time you put into that. It's like, okay, is this more important than my family? Is this more important than my workplace? I could change my workplace, so maybe it's not that important that I hit this contract or I win this reward or whatever. But my family is important, or my brother is sick, or my father is on his deathbed and I need to do these things. And somebody asks you, okay, well, you're gonna buy a plane ticket now and fly to Germany, across the globe, and try to reconcile family through. Yeah, you should, because that's what counts, right?
Yeah, so it's prioritization, getting a good balance in life. These are two key things. Yeah, definitely.
So what the challenges in the Noble's Path do is that they push you further than you think you could go. They push you just above that edge that you have put to yourself, because it's somebody else giving you that edge. And somebody in this group is going to find an area where you lack expertise or where you can improve. And you didn't know that. You thought you were like, okay, I'm an expert in this field. And then somebody else said, well, did you know about this? Or did you know about A or Z? And it's like, wow, okay. It doesn't diminish your achievement from before, but it gives you that push to say, okay, I can actually do even better if it's important to me.
It's like that. It's that structured progression system, right? Which you get in private clubs, like, you go to university, you go formal education, you get your certificates, you get in martial arts, the scouts, but there's not really been anything for adults that is more holistic. I've not found anyway.
I think the formalization of so it's the psychology of gamification, that you level up, you go one step higher, but you need to fulfill the basics. So you fulfill the basics, you check the boxes, and then you get approval from the rest of the group, move one step up. And that kind of stepwise moving up the ladder, not really. Actually, it's more you level up in yourself. You get more recognition for what you're doing to yourself.
Yes, absolutely. But there is that element of reinforcing your place within the community as well, right? So you're gaining the trust and respect of the men as you level up. It's been recognized, and there's that positive feedback loop there as well. Then that gives you more personal impetus to then go and drive yourself further.
Because I consider myself already a community builder, which means that why should I join somebody else's group? Why should I not build one myself? And the Noble's Path is actually an excellent example of how all the people in that group that want to build out their area of influx, or the number of people that they can influence, very naturally, it's built into the structure. It's a structure that allows community builders to build their peers, to build a group of people to work with.